Lloyd Austin there talked of a multi-tiered, multi-tiered in the American response. What does that actually mean?
Well, I think he's reflecting, Kamali, what, in a way, what Tony Blinken said a few days ago, is that, when we respond, it'll be across the spectrum. It won't just be a military attack. It might be other things like sanctions, might be a cyber attack. It might be all sorts of diplomatic moves, as well as some military moves. And it will take some time, and it will be sustained. It won't be a one-off response. Because what the Americans are faced with is the fact that the Iranians and their proxies will keep pushing America as far as they think they can. If the Americans, as it were, stand back, the proxies will just fill the space. They'll just do something else. They're trying to provoke the United States. And so what the US has got to do is to say, look, we're going to react in a range of ways. We'll keep on reacting, and we're going to squeeze until you get the message that this is unacceptable, that we won't take it. And so that's what they're trying to do. It's quite hard because, one-off hit back is what a lot of people in the States would like to see, but it probably won't achieve anything. The Americans have got to be a bit more subtle, and that's what they're trying to do.
I mean, up to this point, it's just been rhetoric, hasn't it, Michael? And there is some reporting that, with a week having passed since the attack, some of those targets may well have got out of wherever they were hiding in Iraq or Syria, wherever these attacks may take place. Yeah. Why has there been no response?
And in a way, that was the idea. Give them some time to move out of the way. There's a sort of quarterly dance going on between the United States and Tehran. And I think the Iranians have been indicating that they are getting a bit alarmed that they're getting too close to the threshold of a war, which they don't want, and that they would lose. They know that. But they play games right up to that point. And the Americans are trying to get them to pull back that point to establish the fact that the threshold is a lot lower than you thought it was, Tehran, so don't be silly. And I think there's a lot of discussion going on and signalling behind the scenes. And what the Americans are saying is, we're prepared to give you this in advance. We know that your people will move out of the way. We know you're moving your equipment out of the way. We will still strike certain targets. And those targets will be in Iraq and Syria. That's what they've said. We're not going to strike targets in Iran. We're probably not going to strike targets down in Yemen that relate directly to Iranian facilities, because the Iranians have got some ships down there which would be targets in a bigger operation. They say they're going to stick to these militias, these various groups in Syria and Iraq. That makes a certain sort of sense, but in a way, the Americans will do whatever they're going to do. I'm surprised it hasn't happened already, to be honest, but I think it'll happen very soon. And then they'll, in a sense, be saying to the Iranians, now, look, we will carry on doing this and we will squeeze you a lot harder until you get the message. And we'll see how that works.
Indeed, and we're still waiting for when that response comes. Right, Professor Clarke, thank you for now.